Hello, everyone. Here we are again, 8 o'clock on a Thursday. But I'll just remind you, in the UK on early hours, Saturday, Sunday morning, we put our clocks back, so we'll be back on GMT from next week. So if you're watching this somewhere outside the UK, just tune in an hour earlier. We will come in halfway through. Busy week again. Well, it's been busy for me. 1,191 views, 3 new subscribers this week. So welcome to the 3 new people to the family. What have you been watching? Well, coming at number 3, the review of the new Alter Bridge album, Pawns and Kings. And I've actually just been listening to some Alter Bridge live. I wonder why. Coming in at number 2 was from yesterday, Simple Minds. 74 people. Didn't say how many people watched the Alter Bridge. 38. And topping the weekly views this week was last week's Battle of the Debuts, John Lennon versus Paul McCartney, and 136 views. In the 28 days viewing, 5,987 views, 28 new subscribers. It's about average now. Every 28, we're picking up 28 new subscribers every 28 days, which is pretty impressive. But what have you been watching? Well, coming in at number 3 in the 28 days, it's my little Be Kind to Each Other video I did, 162. At number 2, we've got the top 10 number ones from the 1990s with 213 views from myself and Mr. McCook. But still at the top is our 1980s top 10s with 246. The big one since we've been starting. Good afternoon, Mick. Don't forget next week to tune in an hour earlier because we're going back. Our clocks go back. I don't know what happens out in your neck of the woods. So the channel has now had 111,946 views. Greetings, Ralph. Hope you've got some nice weather. Better than what we've got here. Usual and 569. Good evening, Richard. We're still top number 1 and 2 of the 28 days. 90s is at number 2 and 80s is at number 1. Wonder where the 2000s will come next week. Who knows? Anyway, there's not much change in the top 3. Still Jethro Tull, Derek Wiggs, and Status Quo. Last week's Battle of the Debuts, of course, was won by Paul McCartney. Quite substantial win as well. Really got a hammering. So what's happening next week? Well, Saturday, there's another McCook Skinner extravaganza. We've really gone out this time. We're going to look at the 2000s and our favourite number ones from the 2000s. This one's been a hard one. I can assure you, I have struggled, but I managed to do it. So we're doing that on Saturday. Sunday, we've got a birthday. Whose birthday is it Sunday? Well, he knows who it is, and your top 10 will come out on Sunday. Monday, back to normal schedules. We've got a viewer's request. Straight up on Monday, we are going to do Skunk Anansi, which actually literally translates as spider, according to Mr. Keogh. Classic album review next week is one of the great American folk singers, Joni Mitchell, and we're going to look at her album For the Roses, an album that I had not listened all the way through. I've got a greatest hits of her, but I'd never listened to the whole album through. And I thought, yeah, this is pretty cool, and I like it. Retro ranking next week. One of my favourite singers from the 70s, Mr. Dave Edmunds. Looking at my favourite songs by Dave Edmunds. Next week's marathon, another viewer's request. We're looking at the mighty Chicago. Trumpets, horns, and brass and rock all thrown in at in the same place. Big one that one is. So looking forward to that. Next Thursday's Battle of the Debuts. We're going a bit neo-prog next week. We're going to pitch Marillion and IQ. Both had debut albums in 1983. We're going to see which one's the better. I've got a good idea which one will come out on top there. And then album artwork. We're starting to wind down now because on December the 1st we've got a new show. But the album artwork ranking next week is probably one of the bands that's got some of the finest artwork of all rock albums. The band called Blind Guardian. They're a German speed metal band. So I'm looking forward to that one because that's brilliant. Good evening, Rock Beast. Have you heard the news about Mick Mars? He is retiring from playing on stage because of his back problem. But he said he's still going to be in the band just in case they make a new album. So Mr. Mars is hanging up his boots. Then we got live stream at 8 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time because we're putting our clocks back this weekend. So I get an extra hour in bed on Sunday. But Rocky won't. That won't bother Rocky because he'll still get me up. Oh, nice one, Rock Beast. Nice one. Friday, live album ranking. This is one that's been asked by Mr. Keogh. So we thought we'd better do it because he does lots of good work. We're going to look at the live albums of Kansas, which I don't mind because they're a terrific band. And we've got a new album review next week. We're doing Skid Row's new album, The Gang Is All Here. Had a few listens to it this week. Still not made up my mind. I'm sure you did. You did. I'm sure you did. You did mention it. Let's have a look at what I'm listening to at the moment. Well, we are getting through them Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. I've got 12 of the 17 done now. We're getting there. The Straubs are coming on nicely as well. 17 of the 24. Susie and the Banshees. We've got 9 of the 11. Moody Blues is nearly done. 13 of the 16. The Colt, done halfway through them. 5 of the 10. Mr. Bob Catley of Magnum, his solo stuff. I've done 4 of the 7. The Who, we've done 6 of 12, so we're halfway through The Who. REM, we're at 6 of the 15. Eloy, new band added, but I've listened to a few of those anyway, and that is 5 of 19. Hold on, just feeding the goat. There we go. Chucked him his big chew. Queensryche, 5 of the 17. Gordon Giltrap's collaborations, 4 of the 8. Now, Mick was on about last week about James Bond. And I said I'd do the soundtracks. I've listened to 3 of the soundtracks and I've watched 2 of the movies. I'm doing it in order they come out. So I've sat and watched Dr. No and From Russia with Love. I'm going to watch Goldfinger at the weekend, but I have listened to the soundtrack. And I have added Nick Mason. bands that have all cleared that some of them you've asked for. The whole of the Gordon Gill Trap's now completed. Cats in Space are completed. Clear Blue Sky are completed. Star Castle completed, and Happy the Man. So look out for those if you ask for them in the up and coming months, because it is months now. It's not weeks, I'm afraid, because we've got such a long list. So that's all that stuff out the way. That's no Wallies of the week. Everyone's been behaving themselves. Right, I've got to move this because okay, we want the eagle-eyed members of the thing. As you can see this week, I turned all the album covers round. So would anyone like to have a guess at what albums are up behind me today? Oh, too many favourite songs from Kiss in the 70s. Yeah, there is Mick, the Bond. Oh. Hold on, folks, and this has come up on my screen. You won't see this. Epsom Portal update. No, go away. I don't want that at the moment. Yeah, Down to Earth is one of them. Well done, Richard and Ralph. The Whole Story, yeah, that's 3 done. There's 2 up there I don't think you'll get. So I'm not gonna get there. Oh God, too many. Too many Rock Beast. Off the top of my head. Oh, can't think. Printer update that can't wait till the weekend. Creatures of the Night. I agree with that one. So, okay, what's this one there then, folks? Where my finger is. The one there is quite hard. That one is reasonably hard, and that one's very hard. What else has got to say? Good evening, Stephen. Welcome. We're at the moment playing Guess the Album covers. We've got this one here, Down to Earth. The Whole Story. What's it called? Kate Bush. But the others haven't been guessed yet. And I'm just thinking, have all these people been covered on the channel? Yes, they have. Some have just been once, some have been done twice. So what one's what? I'll give you a clue for that one. They're from Ireland. And I'll give you a cue for that one. It is not Love Over Gold. Boomtown Rats. Oh, well done, Stephen. Yes. That is the Mama's Boys. And that is... Do you know what album, though, Stephen? Right, folks, I'm only on coke tonight because I've not been 100% this week. And a bit of a head cold. Yeah, the Mama's Boys. I've seen them twice. Nebworth and Milton Keynes. And they were damn good. But this album is not particularly a favourite of mine. No, it's not the Power and Passion. It's the Grown Up the Hard Way, which was their last proper studio album, and it's probably the weakest. Power and Passion's my favourite. Love that. Okay, so we'll be getting through them. So we just got to find that one, that one, and that one. Get your thinking caps on. All bands that have been artists and bands. UFO. Oh, what, on the Misdemeanor tour? Yes. Top Left Quo. No, it's a boogie band. It's a boogie band. It's a trio. And I'll give you a clue. It was their very first album. Oh, well done, Richard. Yeah, it's the very first ZZ Top album. You know your covers. It's the man that knows the covers as Richard. Yeah, it is the ZZ Top Rock Beast, spot on. The first album. Bottom right is Familiar. The clue gave it away. Bottom right. After that one. Well, I'll give you a clue. It's actually one of the name of the tracks on the album. I'm surprised that Dave hasn't got that one. Yeah, you got that one. Yeah, that's sitting behind me, Rock Beast. I'm surprised you haven't got that one, Richard. I'm very, very shocked, actually. Yeah, Rock Beast, you're doing well. You are. No. It's not Seconds Out. It's a guy that's in a band in America. Stephen, you're right about that. It is a Mike Oldfield cover, but which one? Thin Lizzy, it's not Thin Lizzy. Whoa, I'm going to get one back on you this week. Oh, I knew I would. I knew I'd beat you this week, folks. $5 miles out. Well done, Richard. You just got this one to get. I like this game we play. So it's just this one that's bugging everyone. Good guess, but wrong, Rock Beast. Right, it is an American band. They have been featured in 3 videos connecting this band. This is the solo album of one of the guys, the debut solo album of one of the guys in the band. He's probably the most famous person in the band. I think Rocky wants to disappear. So shove it out of the way, you don't care, do you? Right, I'm gonna pull it down while I'm off. I'm not going to give it away, though. I'm going to let you have a better look at it. Right. There we go. I can see that falling down one of these weeks on my head. No, it's not Gene Simmons. Right, let's see if I can show you the inside. Well, all the inside is, there's a picture of him there. Just going to see when it come out. It's on the Electra album, and it was released in 1973. I'll do it by the some of the songs on the album then. Sail Around the World, Sunday Rider, Soap, Sight and Sound, Laura Lee. I'm not going to say any more because it'll give it away. I am going to win, daddy, daddy, da. Right, the missing track and what the picture is on the back is the cut. David. Oh, well done, David. Someone's got it right. It is David Gates. It's David Gates first. I didn't win, but Dave knew that anyway. Or did you? The guy from Bread, yeah. David Gates. One of my favourite albums from David Gates. It is my favourite album. And I do love the Cloud Suite. Well, it took you. You're usually pretty hot on the covers. I might do some back ones, some more reverse ones next week because it's quite fun. Trying to catch you guys out. How are we doing in the poll then? Let's have a look. Looks like it's 50% at the moment. I can't believe he's at that already. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to Saturday because I've discovered something about the 2000s. I don't know if it's something to do with the generation that buy the chart music, but if you got a record in the 2000 that was in the chart at the top for more than 2 weeks, you were doing well. I found 90% of the music in the year 2000s only spent 1 week at the top. Four. Oh, someone's just commented on something. Someone's said about Depeche Mode. I'll have to reply to him that we've done Depeche Mode and put the link in. I'll do that later. You've got 4. I've only got Long Live Rock and Roll. There you go. Well, that's interesting. Mine has got some stuff that I would never really think about listening to, but I had to really start listening to stuff. All I can see is a tail. Yeah. I've got some ones you may be shocked by, Richard. I'm sure. And when you guys watch it, I'll go, did you really like that? But I think it'll be the same as the 90s. We won't be able to say too much about the songs because we don't know much about them. We may do, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I find it once I'd got my thing. Yes, I did. Talking of arena. That's tomorrow's new album review. I'm doing my new album review. Who knows? Who knows, Charles? Who knows? You know me too well. I'm not going to show you too much of this, but that's tomorrow's album, and I've listened to it all week, and it is blooming good. Yeah, I love it. I'm not going to say too much because I'll not bother doing the show tomorrow. That's pretty cool coming from you, Rock Beast, because you're only young yourself. Oh, thank you, David. Yeah, you're very young yourself, but yeah, music sort of died. But the reason we're doing this, I think it was just the challenge of doing it, being out of our comfort zones, because we both enjoy doing the 90s. We were going to do the 1950s, but Richard went and threw the spanner in the works and said, why not do the 2000s? Yeah, go on then. But we're not going past 2000s. I did look at the 2010s, but there was just nothing in there that really floated my boat. It really didn't. Yeah, it's great that you like 80s pop, Rock Beast. I'm well impressed. No, definitely not. Because after that, it gets worse. We've still got the 19. No. No, and anything I knew that Coldplay did have some stuff in the 2000, and I just went over that. Well, I'll say there's quite a few girl bands in my top 10, but that. Which I'm looking at. As I keep saying, it's going to be a good, fun one. I have done, and I've actually done some research into a couple of bits. There'll be some old faithfuls in there, I'm afraid, for the thing. But my 50s and 60s ones have been so easy to do. Definitely. So I've done all the decades already. Everything's done. Board play. That's what we'll call them from now on. They will never be called Coldplay again on this channel. They will always refer to by board play. Thank you, Rock Beast. Hey, hey, I'm glad I'm not the only one that dislikes Coldplay. Oh. So yeah, so well done, Rock Beast. We do not call them. They're all known as board clay. For tea coaster, not much else. Yes. Hold on. Does he? No. Is it? No. He's not. He's not at the door. He's just showing off. Yeah. Followed closely by the self-crunch. That lady singer that we don't mention either. Talking of ladies singers, we've rattled today, Dave and myself, the ladies' days for the next few months. So that's something. We know exactly what we're doing right up till January now. Yeah. Did anyone thought that this ladies' night was a bit different? A bit of Enya and Bond. I was saying this to Dave today. Bond, as I think I mentioned it, they've only released 4 studio albums of a compilation, but they have sold over 5 million albums, which isn't bad when you've only released so many, a very short, limited of albums. So it roughly works out about 1 million per album. Oh, excellent. Excellent. It's all right. Richard ordered, he watched my Enya, the Enya video, and he's actually gone and inspired to go and buy some Enya. We got lots of Enya in my place. I will be ranking all their albums next year though, because I like that song. I don't think I pronounced it. Rocky wants airtime. He wants a boot at the bum. I don't know about that. What do you want now? I think I've forgotten to give him something. That's what it is. He hasn't had his dentist stick. He won't let me forget. I'll just go and get his dentist stick. Let's go and get your dentist stick. Come on then. This is what he wants. This is actually a dentist stick, and it's actually mint, and he loves it. Yeah, then. Go and get it then. Oh, that's a good one, Richard. I like that one. Come here then. There you go. I've broken them up now. Get on with it then. I forgot to broke it up. There you go. Ethnia for drug. I'm not going to even attempt it. It's like when we go. I mean, I'm in Ireland. If there's a place, I don't even attempt to say it. Especially some of the places we went through when we went down to Ennis. Oh, some really weird and wonderful names on the way down to Ennis. That's it. Cleaning his teeth like a good dog. Oh, look at that. I'm really messy. There we go. Oh, I'll leave it. If I touch it, it'll fall on me like it's going to do. I should have not touched it. Props. What I would love is something that I can pull down from the ceiling. 28 albums, good. Well, she can have a marathon day then. I better start listening to her then, hadn't I? If she's got 28 albums. I've heard one or two bits by her, but not lots. Yeah, it was quite funny today. Peter Brinkley, who's a big contribution on the channel, coming up with ideas. He actually asked me today, when's Helios Creed album ranking? And the thing was, he asked me, I was actually doing my little script for the show, which is coming up in a few weeks' time. So that's quite funny that he asked, and I was actually preparing for the week after. I'm always a week ahead of. So next week's is all done, and I'm working. I'll be working on the week afters at the moment. So I managed to do that when I was off with the old Bell's palsy. I did manage to do a lot of catch up, and managed to get myself ahead of myself so I don't have to scramble and spend hours and hours. A certain artist from Belfast being one. Eve Cassidy. Yeah. There's one thing I really have to think about female artists for the ladies' night we do. Because, you know, the rules of that one, it can't be a band that's got males in. It's got to be... The idea of doing this ladies' night day, whatever we call it, is to give it a bit of appreciation to them, the female artists that have contributed in the music industry over the years. And it doesn't matter what genre they come from. It's just a look at female artists from what genres, like we did this week with Bond and Enya. Because I know we've got all sorts of people coming up, and I do think it's nice to do a bit of Elkie Brooks. Oh, I love it. Was it Lilac Wine? That's my favourite song by Elkie Brooks. You'll forget that when I come to do my retro ranking of it, I suppose. One of my favourite songs. I mean, I know we're throwing in the classic album Joni Mitchell, but I think we'll do it more. We'll do a little bit more on Joni Mitchell. Yes, Rocky. Can you see? He's not barking at anyone in particular, or me, or looking at me. He's just sitting there barking. He'll bark again in a minute. No, he's off. Off he goes. He's been funny this week. We've had quite a lot of rain here, and getting Rocky to go out for a wee in the rain is just, you literally have to pick him up and put him out because he just doesn't like the rain. What? Come here then. Come on. When's the psychedelic furs ranking? Dave, will you look, see how far psychedelic furs is on the list? It must be coming up soon. The way we do it now. Good evening, Rob. Hope you're well on this Thursday. Because we sort of just take it off the top now because there's so many. We just you've got a list and everyone moves up one when we take one off. I'm sure it must be towards the top. So if not, if it isn't, we'll throw it in January. There we go. Dave has come up with it. So we don't forget your requests. That's the last thing we do. That's why Dave's he does what he does. He knows more about what's coming up and when you're going to get them than me, actually. Although he sends me the lists, he's the one that really keeps the eye on things. He gets the big bucks. Yeah. It's like anything, isn't it? I'm the face of the channel and Dave's the real worker. No, we both put a lot of work in to keep this channel going well. And if people say, "Oh, you can run a channel on your own," you can. But if you do it like this, you gotta keep on top of it. 20. Good grief. As a few ladies' day, we'll be swapping days some months. We got these big ones. But what we have got coming up in ladies' night is we've got Amy Winehouse coming up, Carole King. One band that I don't know if the Rock Beast, if you're still here, Vixen. Band that I have seen. All that hair as well. When them four girls worked out on stage, if there'd have been a spark, the hair would have just gone up, because some of it was right up here. Hot Chip on Vinyl, good grief. Yeah, Christmas week shows are looking good. Well, that not Christmas week, that week in between Christmas and New Year. It won't be the normal schedule. It'll be a hodgepodge of bits and bobs. That's coming along nicely. But we have got, I have got one Christmas show lined up for you, which will come out during December. And that is, I went through my Christmas albums that I've got by various bands and artists. And I've put together a top 10 of my favourite Christmas albums. So that will be coming out. The other tough thing I'm doing at the moment is the top 20 albums of the year. Boy, is this hard this year. There are so many great albums. But I can tell you ones that will not be on that list. Muse, the Alanis Morissette, Johnny Depp. They're definitely not on the list. They haven't even made... They're out the building. Still got a couple of new albums to review. I do believe this may feature in it. Very much so. And I've already got one album review that's sort of been confirmed for March of next year. That's a rock band from my very own town, Empire. And I should be getting a preview of their new album. Johnny Mars? No, Johnny Depp. I didn't like it. What Johnny, he did it with Jeff Beck. Don't know what Jeff Beck was thinking. But there you go. I can't think of any of the others that are not featured that I've reviewed this year. The Chicago one may get in, because when I reviewed it, I thought it was a bit dull. But you'll find out where it actually sits on next Wednesday. Well, I mean, I think I was a bit harsh with it when I reviewed it, in all honesty. But you can get it wrong. And I think I have got that one wrong. When I've listened to all the other Chicago albums, it sort of crept up the rankings. Got some really, the ones I'm looking forward to. Yep, that's about right. Now, I'm always, as you know, I'm a bit dubious of albums that, cover albums when an artist just comes out and does some songs. But I've listened to now 3 of the songs on the Bruce Springsteen album, and I'm very impressed what I've heard so far. What I've heard so far, he's done these songs justice, and I think I'll be quite shocked. But one covers album that I was not impressed with, and that's Neon Lights, Simple Minds. What a pile of junk that was. No, Ralph, I will say, when you watch the Chicago, you will notice something about my selection of Chicago albums. Yes, going back to this Simple Minds album, I've never heard such a botched versions of some great songs. I mean, they do a cover version of Human League's Being Boiled. This is the trouble I'm having, Stephen. That's up there. It's probably my bet. The album I've played so much this year. Yeah, I do like Chicago, don't get me wrong. But I think there's certain albums that I prefer to others, like with most of my album rankings. Because I do love the horns. I love horn music. Albums that got horns and brass on, I love. Yeah, you're right, Stephen. It has been a good year for new albums. I mean, we had that Baron doing COVID where we got nothing. And it was just, oh dear. But, you know, the last couple of years, we've had some decent album came out. I mean, this year we're going to get 2 from Red Hot Chili Peppers. Reviewing that very shortly. That's already out. Been listening to it, and it's going to be hard to say which of the 2 albums this year they brought out, which one's the better. It's like that at the moment. They are both as good as each other. I mean, the Scorpions album, Rock Believer, it's probably their best album in years. And of course, Queensryche's new album is absolutely fantastic. I haven't seen a bad review of that album yet. The Digital Noise Alliance. It's probably the best album that Todd's done with Queensryche. Because I've been listening to some Queensryche this week, and it is tough. Magnums was good. Looking forward to the new Threshold, of course. He did. When I got into a conversation on Twitter with Stephen about that album, and he said he went to see him live, and I went, yeah, oh, brilliant. I'm looking forward to the new album. And his reply was, the new songs are brilliant with Damien, and they sound really great live. Just had a notification. That person went about Depeche Mode. He likes it, so as we speak, someone likes it. So let's get rid of that because I can't see what people can. Stephen, listen to it. You will be blown away. Have you banned him then? Oh, and Alter Bridge, yeah. I'm playing that a ton as well. So go on then. What's he been saying then? Has he been slagging just you off? Or has he been slagging myself and Richard off? And if you are watching this, the person thing, why do it, mate? You've sort of alienated a lot of people. you got nailed the other week. Oh dear. I'm surprised he's allowed on YouTube, to be quite honest. So there you go. Oh. Has anyone contacted Vinyl Dale's channel and said this bloke's a pest? I'll go and have a dig on Vinyl Dave's channel tomorrow and see if I can find what he's put, because if he's yeah, I'm going to have a look, and I might even drop Vinyl Dale email, because it's not fair. I think as a group of YouTubers, I think it's time he needs putting. Yeah, Rob, he was just, I mean, I don't know if you realize, I mean, some of the stuff he said about myself and the stuff he said about Richard, and but he's a menace to YouTube, and I think enough is enough. I don't know what will happen if we report him, but he certainly needs a good slap. And if you are watching, oh no, he didn't delete them on mine. I had to delete them myself. The trouble is, you can still watch us, which is more annoying. That he can still watch what we're doing, and he can actually tune into this. Yeah, I'm sure he knows who he's watching. But all I'll say to you, your card's marked. It's getting round. You've annoyed 3 good stations here, so the word's getting round, and we will keep telling people and spreading the word, believe you me. And it's not bullying, it's keeping the people that do all the hard work and supporting each other. That's what that's about. If you don't want any more, just stop doing it, mate. And no one will bother you, but if you keep pressing, you're going to get yourself in more trouble than what you are. I don't know. Well, I think in the new year, those of us who've got channels, we should have a little forum. It'd be great to have myself, Rob, and who've got Zoom, and we'll just do something. I don't know what. I know Joe, myself, and Richard are going to do a Mike Oldfield, but I think probably next year sometime we'll have one where we all get together, because we're all getting really friendly on this channel. But it'd be nice to do something on Zoom and put it out to the masses, because you all make good contributions, and I think we're here to support each other as well and work together. I don't know. Well, you know, at the end of the year, we're going to do a Wally. Okay, we'll get to. I'm talking to obviously Richard on Saturday, because we're doing the 2000s, Rob. So I'll liaise with him, and we'll get something going where we'll just get something going and have a chat. Wally at the year at Exmouth, yes, we've got one. But someone's not going to be in it because I don't think he deserves to be. I'm not going to give him the satisfaction. But I know who my Wally of the Year is. Unless we all decide who we think Wally of the Year is at Christmas. On the last live stream before Christmas, we'll talk about who do we think that Wally. We'll all I'll do my nomination, then you can put them up in the side, and we'll decide who the Wally of the Year is. And then it doesn't look like that I'm just picking on everybody. Bit like on Talk TV when they do their plank of the week. We're going to have Wally of the Year. And if there's not them we haven't mentioned and you think someone needs to be mentioned as Wally of the Year, that's the time to do it. We'll have a big bash on Wally of the Year. And then we'll take votes. I'll make up the poll as we go along, and then we'll vote on it. Well, I can't vote, but there is one way I could vote. Might do a bit of jiggery pokery, but there is one way I can vote because I've got 2 YouTube accounts. I've got this one, and I've got my own personal one, so I can do it. Praying Mantis. I'm not going to. Well, yeah. So, no, I'm not nominating myself. If someone else wants to nominate me, they can, but I'm not nominating myself. Why should I? Why do you want to be happy Wally of the Year, Rob? What have you done that's been silly? You're not Wally of the Year. I think Charles knows who my nomination will be. This goes back to the summer. Nominate Adele. Your dog agrees, yeah. Anyone puts Rocky for Wally of the Year, they'll be shot. So yeah, we'll have a proper music Wally of the Year. Well, as I said, they do Plank of the Week, and we'll have Wally of the Year. No, Richard should get the for doing a show on something that was totally out of his comfort zone. When he did Led Zeppelin twice. He did the albums and the songs. Dash Hand of the Decade, definitely. Yes, that's you, isn't it? You're much a star of this channel as what I am, aren't you? I was going through. I was looking at some stuff through the things, and I found a clip, and I can't remember which one it's on now, of Marley jumping up and down. Okay, Rob. See you next week. Have a good week, mate. Yeah, it won't be long before I'll be going because I don't know if you've noticed this week. I've not been 100%. I started a bit of a head cold on Saturday, and I must admit, on Monday morning, if I'd have woke up and my head was still going around at 7,000 miles an hour, there'd have been noticed poorly. Well, I found an emoji to do for poorly that I'd put up if I was poorly. I must send that one to Dave so he can put it up if I can't even get to the computer. So I'm sure Dave would find something to put up, because obviously you can get into the community. But it gets to this time of night and I start feeling a little bit. You can still feel when it bugged up. It starts here and it starts going up here. Yeah, that one will do. That's very similar to mine. Mine's actually got a bandage on it as well. So yeah, I am going to call it a day soon, because I am still not 100%. As you notice, I had to go and have a haircut this week. So I looked at one of the videos and I thought, my God, my hair's starting to look like, you remember the boxing promoter Don King? My hair was up here somewhere. I thought, oh God, I've got to get rid of that. But tomorrow is eye test day. Not looking forward to that, because every time I go, they tell me my eyes are getting worse. And more, they want to see me more now because of the Bell's palsy, to make sure my eye is all right and it wasn't damaged and all that nonsense. So that's tomorrow after I've done. Oh, I'll go and have. I don't know if we can get it over here, but I'll have a moochie. I went Jedward. Yes, it was a bit Jedward. Talking of Jedward, they put a comment on someone's Facebook, and I had to reply. Told them that they were a pair of clowns and get back in your box. There was something about Irish history, and obviously they didn't know. I mean, I'm not Irish, but I know Irish history, and they told me that I didn't know what I was talking about. So there's my claim to fame. I actually called the Jedward a pair of clowns and told them to get back in their box. Anyway, folks, I am going because I'm starting to feel again. Always do it this time of night. I don't know why. So at the moment I might do what Dave suggested, put my head in a bowl of Vicks under their, So I've now run out of whiskey and I'm not putting my Jamesons in a toddy. Yeah. Yeah, don't forget, folks, if you're watching this outside the UK, if you're not watching it live or you're watching it at your convenience, it's an hour later. So say you're been watching this at 6 p.m, you have got to watch it at 5 p.m. until your clocks alter as well. So good night all, and good night from Rocky. Say the night, Rocky. Say the night to everybody. No, I want him to say something. He won't. Say the night. Can I say the night to everybody? Yeah. Okay, folks, I'm off. Thanks again for watching. You all are wonderful people. Keep coming and doing this. I do appreciate it, and Dave does. We have so much fun. Good night all. Bye-bye.